Hello and welcome back to the Centered Soul podcast. It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? Yeah, I have some updates for you. So, as the title of the episode says, I am closing the business, and this episode is going to be all the details on that. Hopefully, we'll answer all of your questions, and you can message me if you have more questions after. Before I start, I will say my last official day of operation is going to be January 31st. So, if you are a crystal shop and you would like to purchase wholesale from me, please reach out to me. If you are a customer and you would like some discounted crystals before they all go away, please reach out to me. Now is the chance. If you are a client trying to get in last minute, please reach out to me. I have a few days available, and then that will be that. I'll also say that if you are a regular client of mine, someone who has been seeing me for years, or someone who's in the energy program, I actually would like to speak with you about your options. So please reach out to me, DM me, or text me, or email me, and we'll talk about it. So, with that being said, let's talk about how we got here. I'm going to tell you a story about the last year of my life, and I think that that will clear some things up. So, as some of you know, about 9 months ago, I got into country line dancing, and I started having the absolute time of my life. Country swing and country line dancing, and I have really found something that I enjoy, something that lights me up and brings me joy and just helps me connect to myself, helps me connect to my mind, my body, my energy, my femininity, my passion, my joy. It's truly been phenomenal, and it's connected me with groups of people that I never would have met if it wasn't for that. And it has truly just transformed and changed my life for the better. I could not be more grateful. And with that, let's see. So I've been country line dancing, like I said, for I think 9 months, and it has just been this source of ultimate joy for me, and this source of human connection and connection to myself. And at, I guess, the beginning of December, I was offered the opportunity to be in a swing dance competition. And I wasn't really sure I wanted to do it. Last minute things changed and happened, and my friend, my one of my dance partners, was like, "Please, I need a partner." And so I was like, "You know what?" It was the day before the competition. I was like, "Okay, bet, fine, we'll do it." So I was like, "As long as you're not tied to winning, because I don't want the pressure of feeling like if we don't win, that's on me." So if you want to do it for fun, I will do it for fun with you. I'll do it for experience with you. And so we did it. And no, we did not win. I didn't expect to win. There are so many people there who've been doing this for years and know far more than I do. But it was fun, and it was a fantastic experience. And after the experience, a lot of people were asking me, like, "Oh, like, are you going to compete again? Are you going to start competing? Are you going to do the line dance competition? Like, what's next for you?" Right? And I was like, "No, no. What's next for me is nothing, because I had fun. Would I do it again consistently? Would I pay to be in a competition? No, I wouldn't." And my reason was very simple. I took something that I love, line dance, swing dance, and I put it in front of an audience and essentially asked them to judge me. And for the first time while dancing, I was nervous. I couldn't really focus very well. And while it was fun and an incredible experience and super, super evident of the growth I've done, I mean, you couldn't catch me dead in front of an audience 2 years ago. Um, it was a lot of pressure on something I love. And so it took that thing I love and it put pressure on it, and it put judgment on it, and it put this need for perfection on it. Whereas when I'm out at a line dancing bar with my friends, there's no need for perfection. When I'm swing dancing with one of my dance partners, there's no need for perfection. There's just a need for fun and feeling the music and connecting and building relationships and enjoying ourselves and strengthening our ability to connect the mind and the body, to memorize different moves, to follow body language and music cues. And it's fun. The second it was being judged, there was pressure. And I realized that the pressure took the fun out of it. And yeah, it was, like I said, it was fun. Like, I didn't regret it by any means, and I would do it again for shits and gigs, but I wouldn't want to put pressure on this thing I love regularly, right? I wouldn't want to learn how to master every move and do these extra ones and spend my time practicing so that when I do the next one, I can get a better grade and that I'm competing with myself from last time to see if I can move further in the competition than I did last time. Like, that's a lot of pressure on something I love. Okay, I hope you're following me. This translates over to my business. I started to realize that there was all this pressure on something I love. My business was originally started because I wanted to do something that I loved. And I didn't want to work for somebody else and do their grunt work or the work that they don't love or don't want to do. I wanted to work for myself and not have to worry about doing things I don't like. I'll just do what I love. Okay. So business started. Boom. Couple years in, quit my job. Boom. I'm doing what I love. I'm giving readings. I'm teaching trauma healing. I'm sharing my knowledge. I'm playing with shiny rocks on TikTok Live and making money. Yay. We love that. And it was fun for several years. And in this last year, I started to have a lot less fun. And in a weird way, I think this actually translates all the way back into my breakup, which was a year and a half ago at this point, and it's currently January of 2026. When me and my partner broke up, I had suddenly this pressure to take care of myself, right? I had to be my provider, my supporter, and he was my support before. We were both working. Sometimes we were both working multiple jobs. So we were both, bringing in financial income, but we lived together. We had cats together. We had this life that we were building together. And I had someone to rely on and someone to support me, even if it was just emotional support, right? And so I knew the whole time I was running my business, if I need it, my partner has got my back. If I don't make enough money, that's okay. I can take risks. I can do the parts of business that I love and forget about the other ones because no matter what happens, I have a team player in life and I'll be okay. And so back a year and a half ago after we separated, we obviously both had to go start life by ourselves. And granted, I was 19 when we got together, so I had never lived alone. I had never been my own support system in that sense. And so a year and a half ago when we broke up and I went and got my own place and learned how to be that person for myself, what started happening was pressure because now I have to be the one to do everything in life, in my home, in my career, in my finances, for the cats, like whatever it is, I'm in charge now. There is no fallback and there's no one to fall back on. I obviously have an incredible family and an incredible friend group and support system. So I have all the emotional support in the world and they've actually been financially supportive of me during harder times as well. And I've had that level of support, but I've also had to learn how to be 100% independent, 100% with myself, and 100% self-reliant outside of, obvious support systems. I'm definitely not alone in life by any means. So, oh my God, that actually just occurred to me. If you're watching on video right now, you can see it's a completely different background than my last podcast I recorded. Because my last podcast was in my apartment that I first moved into after my breakup, and I've moved since then. Yeah, wow. Okay. Anyways, lots of stuff has happened. So circling back to the last year and a half, being my own provider, my own supporter, started to put pressure on what I love. the crystals, the clients, the content. So I was no longer making content from a place of, here's the information that I want to put out there today. Here's what I want people to know or what I want people to see. I wasn't choosing to do what I love from a place of, oh my God, that's what I want to do today. Instead, I was choosing what to do each day based on what would bring me the most income. So suddenly, my content, my sales, the things I was purchasing for wholesale, my outreach to clients was all very self-serving in the sense of what's going to bring me the most income because I am alone now and I've never done that before. So I'm dysregulated and I'm scared. And I want to be sure that I'm supporting myself and that I have what I need. And so all of a sudden, I started doing things differently. I started acting from a place of fear and I started acting from a place of desperation. And I want to say, I have always hated making content. I have said this since day fucking one. I hate making content, not because I hate making content, but because I hate making advertisements and marketing content. It's easy for me in conversation to tell you, hey, you know what? Actually, this is why you should have some crystals in your life. This is why you should, do a session or you should look into some trauma healing or you should read this book because you and I are talking about whatever, and you've expressed things to me that are showing me this would be helpful for you. But to make a generalized video, post it to the fucking internet and be like, this is why you need selenite. Sorry, not applicable to all. Not everyone needs fucking selenite. Not everyone needs me or my services. And I hate making content from that, like, what's your hook? You got to get people hooked. You have 3 seconds to get them, da da da. Fucking hate that shit. I just want to vibe, which is why you have seen the majority of my content over the years has just been me vibing. I'll take a fucking basket, throw it on the table, throw some crystals in it, and I'm like, great, thank you. That's somebody's order. Who's next? Because I'm not interested in trying to advertise this crystal for this metaphysical property and da 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 da. I love crystals. I don't typically use them for metaphysical properties. I just let them be. I want them in my house. They're beautiful. I want them everywhere. They bring me joy. It's like decor for me with the added benefit that like they have energy and the energy is good. Slay. We love that. Makes my house better. Awesome. But I don't want to tell you all the metaphysical properties of green aventurine and try to convince you that you need it. So I have always hated making content for that reason. What I have learned recently is that I love making content about things that I love. So like sometimes I'll edit up a line dancing video that me and my friends did, or some random ass little side quest we went on, and making videos like that. I made a video of us dirt biking. Like, that's really fun for me. I like that kind of content. And I think part of the reason I like it is because it's something that I enjoy. It's like a passion of mine. And when I post it, if I post it, and sometimes I post it on my personal, like my private account. If I post it, there's no pressure. That word is so fucking deep today. There's no pressure on the performance. I don't give a tiny rat's ass who sees that video. I could watch it 17 times because it brings me joy. Period. That's it. That's all that matters. When I post a crystal video, there's pressure. I need views. I need follows. I need to do well in the algorithm. I need to reach new customers. I need to show up on old customers' FYP so that they remember me and want to shop again. And it's like, I don't like doing that. It comes from, for me personally, and that's how you know I'm not where I should be. It comes from this place of like fear and desperation and inauthenticity, and I don't want to be inauthentic. So I hate making content, and the point of that is that I have been complaining out loud for years, what have I been saying? You guys don't know, but my family, my friends, they know. I hate making content. I hate marketing. I hate doing taxes. I hate having to go through all the bank statements. I hate having to prep the inventory. I hate having to source crystals. I hate pricing them. God, I hate unboxing when I get a fucking shipment. I hate unboxing crystals. It takes hours. Oh my God. And then you got to price all of them, which is math and weighing and da. It takes forever. And I'm stuck at a desk. I don't want to fucking be here. I want to play with the rock. I want to play with the rock and then I want to put it on a shelf and not think about it because they're pretty. That's all I want. So yeah, actually running it has not really been a joy thing for me. And I started to realize that. And then like the live sales, I enjoy. I have fun doing the live sales because I'm hanging out with you, right? You, if you're in my live sale, you're what makes it fun. And of course, it's fun to make money and hang out with people that I like hanging out with and talking to. But outside of that, now I have to create all the invoices. Now I have to do all the shipping labels and pack all your orders and follow up with people who haven't paid. And I mean, I'm good at it. I've been doing it for years. But I realized I have free will and I don't want to be doing this. And I was like, I've been complaining for how many years? Why am I not listening to myself? I've literally been saying, I don't like this. Why am I still here? Okay, so circling back to the dance competition, the being on my own again, not again, being on my own for the first time. I just started to realize that if I were to put pressure on dancing, it would suck my joy right out of dancing. So I don't want to do that. I want to do it for fun. I want to do it as a hobby. I want to do it as a mind-body connection. I want to do it to keep my brain growing and learning things, to stay in physical shape, to make social connections and have fun, meet people, have interactions, and genuinely just enjoy my life. Awesome. Don't want to put pressure on it though. I just want to keep getting all the wonderful things out of it that I've been getting and not put pressure or judgment or pass or fail energy on it. And I realized that ever since I became my own provider, my own support system, I've been putting pressure, judgment, and pass or fail energy on my business, on my clients, on how well my content performs in the algorithm, in how many sales I make in a week or a month, in how many people come to my live sales, in how many people are in the energy program, whatever. And I love doing energy work. I love talking spirituality. I love talking growth-oriented topics. I could have a conversation with you in 3 hours, teach you how to rewire your whole fucking brain and heal your trauma. It's what I'm good at. It's what I love. It's one of the things that my soul came here to learn and to teach people. But I don't like the judgment from myself. I don't like the pass or fail, and I don't like the pressure. And running a business where it is my only source of income really puts a lot of judgment and pass or fail on it. So the dance competition really got me rethinking my life, and I realized I don't want to be here anymore. And so I'm not going to. I'm going to close the business. And I'm honestly really happy about it. When I realized that I had that free will, this weight like lifted off my shoulders. And I was like, holy shit, I don't have to do this. I don't have to be here. And you might even discover that you think this podcast episode is actually flowing a lot better than any other podcast episode I've ever done. It's because I didn't write a fucking script. I'm just here. I'm just talking. I'm just being me and explaining to you what I think and what I feel and what I want, and really connecting to myself and my authenticity and sharing that with you. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you appreciate it. And I hope that that sheds a little bit of light onto why I'm going to close the business. So I kind of want to go into like, what does that mean? So here's the thing. I no longer desire to have pressure, judgment, pass or fail energy, my livelihood dependent on a passion that is self-created, right? Where I'm running my own business, where I'm my own boss, where I'm also having to do all of these like legal things and taxes and paperwork and accounting and all this stuff that I have to do or the business fails. I have to do or the IRS comes for me. You know what I mean? It's a lot of pressure. I have 17 jobs as a business owner because I'm the face of the business. I'm the content creator. I am the marketing, I'm the email team, I'm the customer service team, I'm the social media manager, I'm also the lawyer, I'm also the accountant, I'm the business manager, I am the tax preparer and filer, I am the bookkeeper, I am the payroll manager, I'm also HR. Like I'm fucking everything. I've had employees before, I don't anymore. And Yeah, I haven't had an employee I think since February of 2025. Um, and Yeah, so like I was kind of saying, when all that transition happened last year, I guess it was the year before last, really, it was 2024. Wow. I started moving different because I was moving from a place of fear and self doubt and desperation. And what happened was the business suffered because of it. And I started to do less because I didn't want to do what I didn't want to do. And so the business did not do as well. And then this cycle of beating myself up started, right? Where I was like, oh, well, why am I, not getting as many orders? Or why am I not getting as many clients? Or maybe I should raise my prices. Maybe I should lower my prices. Oh, what am I doing? Like, do I want to be here? Do I want to be doing this? Should I rebrand? Should I do this different with my sessions? Should I only sell statement pieces? Like, I went in fucking circles, bro, because I did not know what I wanted. And it's been over a month now since I decided I was closing the business. And this is the one thing that has been a constant. This is the one thing that since I decided it, I have had full body resonation and I have continued to resonate with it since the moment I made the decision. I'm like, this is what I want. And it's absolutely terrifying. I know that I don't want my livelihood to be dependent on my own business ownership. I know I want stability and I know I want structure and I know I want one or three jobs, one or three hats to wear instead of the 17 gajillion hats that you have to wear as a business owner. And my plan is to work for someone else. And I'm actually really, really excited for it. I never thought the day would come because there was a time when I quit my corporate job that I was like, I will never work for anyone else ever again. And now that I have worked for myself for so long, I crave the structure of working for someone else. I crave the simplicity of working for someone else. So I'm really excited for that. And that's all around the corner. Yeah. So let's see. Let me collect my thoughts. We've kind of gone over how I came to the decision, why, and what feels good. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So, my joy, okay? I have discovered, especially since rediscovering myself and connecting to my authenticity, that my joy and my ability, my ability to connect to gratitude for life, for my circumstances, for the people around me, is actually very, very connected to how connected I am to myself and to my joy. So the happier I am, the more joy I am soaking up out of my daily events, the more gratitude I experience for teeny tiny things like the sunset, like I'll just see my cat sleeping and I will become overwhelmed with joy to like I have to call my best friend and be like, I'm so happy right now. Why? Because I saw a cloud. Like it's the simplest shit, bro. But like my connection to gratitude in that way has become like monumental ever since I became more connected to my joy. And so cutting out the things that are not bringing me joy, like this business, is really, really important to me right now and super, super valuable to just my general happiness. So, yeah. Now, I want to touch on the trauma healing, the PTSD. As many of you know, I have an insane passion for healing, for growth, for mental expansion. I have a belief that you can heal anything wrong in your head and in your life. And I think you can do so without medication. I think it all comes down to your physical, your mental and emotional, and your energetic. And if you can work in all three of those areas, you can fix anything. And I remember back in high school when shit was the worst it's ever been in my life, and I did not want to be on this earth anymore. I remember thinking to myself, this doesn't make sense. This does not make sense. I shouldn't be suffering in my brain, right? Because I want to be happy. I want to enjoy life again. I want to experience good things. And yet my brain is fighting against me. And I was diagnosed with depressive episode disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, severe complex PTSD, all this fucking shit. It was absolutely a disaster. It was not okay, like ever. Okay. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, this doesn't make sense. My brain should not be my worst enemy because I have the ability to think on this half of my brain. I want peace. I want joy. I want happiness. And then the other half of my brain is like, you're going to die. You're about to be attacked. This bad thing is happening. Like, you should do this bad thing or whatever. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. And so that's where my saying, your brain should be your best friend, not your worst enemy. That's where that comes from. Because I remember so clearly, probably 17 years old, laying in bed, staring at the ceiling, wanting to off myself and thinking to myself, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't track. It shouldn't be this way. Because if I have the ability to want something different, my brain shouldn't be the thing fighting against me. Because I'm the problem. The suffering is all in my head. So that was when I made the commitment to myself that I was like, when I figure this out, somehow, some way, I have to figure this out. Because it doesn't make sense. So it wasn't if I figure it out. I knew that I was going to figure it out. It was like, when I figure it out, I'm going to share this shit with the world. Because so many people are suffering. So many people are living in victim mindset, struggling with anxiety, depression, PTSD, whatever it is. And they think that that's the end all be all. They have to take medication. They're in therapy all the time. And it's all pain management, if you will, rather than actual healing. So I was like, when I figure this out, I'm going to fucking tell everyone. Because everyone should have access to this, and it should be free. It should be free to fully connect to and heal yourself. Your brain should be your best friend, not your worst enemy. And the route to get there should be free. I don't think that it should cost money to feel normal. I don't think that it should cost money to want to be alive. I don't think that it should cost money to find joy. Like, that just doesn't really resonate with me. So that was a big part of why I started the business, why I started taking clients in the way that I was, why I was teaching trauma healing. And I still stand by all of that, okay? And when I was debating what I wanted to do, I actually questioned. I was like, okay, I obviously hate this. I'm not having a good time. If my livelihood didn't depend on it, what would I do for free? Because I was trying to like access my joy, my passion. What would I do for free? I was like, you know what I would do for free is I would teach trauma healing. I would teach people how to overcome the hurdles in their brain and how to achieve happiness, peace, and joy within themselves. That's what I would teach how to do that. I wouldn't take clients one-on-one. I would teach. I want to be on a world stage. I want to change the way that mental health is approached and viewed. And I want to change how therapists and their clients are working together, because a lot of the clients don't understand the work that they're doing, and so they don't end up doing the work. They just become stuck in the cycle of therapy. So I have this vision that I want to change the world when it comes to mental health. And that's still true. That's not something that I'm casting aside. And I don't know what I'm going to do exactly. I started another Instagram, another TikTok account that was Centered Soul Healing. I think it was called CSC Healing. And then I started a series that was like day one, day two, whatever. Day one of me telling you everything you need to know to heal yourself until we fully heal the world. And I was really committed to that for a sec. I was like, that's what I want to do. I would literally do it for free. So I'm going to close my business and I am going to just post the information. I just want to put it out there because it should be free. And Lord, trying to sort that shit into 3-minute videos is damn near impossible. So I will not be doing that. I tried. I'm probably going to delete those accounts, by the way. I'll keep the main ones, the ones that the crystals and everything started on. So if you're following the CSC healing accounts, make sure you screen record whatever videos you have saved or want to save, because I know there's a lot of helpful information, and get those saved to your phone, because I'm going to delete those Instagrams because there's just no point in having them. But I'll keep the general Centered Soul ones open for now. I'll probably remove the verification. And, I'll just kind of be there to answer DMs if anybody DMs and asks questions. But I might delete those in the future. We'll see. But yeah, anyways. So all of that to say, I still have the dream of changing the world. And I will always, always, always be deeply and passionately connected to self-growth and trauma healing, PTSD, the way the brain works, rewiring the neural pathways that lead to trauma and PTSD, which I did a lot of in EMDR with therapy. And yeah, so that's all important to me. And I'm still going to be here for that. The business phone number is going to stay open, so you can text me at any point. And think of me as your very smart friend rather than the business you go to, because we no longer in business, which the weight is lifted. I'm very happy. So in the future, someday, years and years from now, obviously I can't predict the future, I envision that at some point I will start another business. Yes. I also might not. Who knows? I also might just write a fucking book and have a fucking TED Talk and move on, right? We'll see. This is not the last the world will be hearing from me, because I have much to say. And there's also a possibility that, once I start my new job and I get locked into my new routines, that filming podcast episodes like this and just telling you but fuck everything that I know about healing just becomes a passion of mine. And I go on a podcast rampage for funsies on the weekends. You know what I mean? So this could be the last podcast episode. It could also be the beginning of a far more deeply educational and authentic channel. I have absolutely no fucking idea. And it's really none of my business. That's for future Danielle to figure out. I am following the joy and following the passion. And yeah, it might result in TED Talks. It might result in books. It might result in another business in a few years. It would not be a crystal shop, I don't think. It would be knowledge. It would be knowledge. I don't know if that's a business category, but it is now. I don't know. I don't know. It's none of my business. We'll figure it out. And if I do end up somewhere on social media that you wouldn't know where to find me, I will post on my old accounts, the Centered Soul Co. accounts, and I'll just let you know. I'll be like, hey, I'm starting a new business. You haven't seen me in 6 years, but hi, hello. I'm starting another business, and here's where you can find me. Or, hey, make sure you follow my podcast on YouTube, because I'm podcasting every week now, and we're not running a business. Like, I don't know. I'll find a way to get the information to you via Instagram, truly. Potentially TikTok, but yeah. So that's kind of that. Yeah, I will always have information to share. It's just a matter, and it matters to me that I get it out there at some point in this life. But right now, Lordy, do I need a few years off. Your girl got burnt out. And part of it was, self-inflicted. And part of it is just, running a business is a lot. And there was a definite part of me that was against closing the business for a long time, because running a business is a lot. And the fact that I am making so much money, running a business, fucking being a CEO, being a lawyer, being an accountant, fucking doing taxes and managing employees and payrolls and, marketing and advertising and managing email lists and customer service and tech support and social media management and all that. I was like, wow, I'm a fucking baddie. Like, like that was like my thought. I was like, I don't want to close a business because I don't want to be viewed as a failure. And then I started to realize that that was like a self-inflicted perception. I was like, no one's gonna fucking think you're a failure, bro. So I reframed my mindset. And through that ego work, I realized, it's so funny. So many of you have heard me say this, about my ex after we broke up. Him and I both said, this is not a failed relationship. This relationship was very successful. And we decided to end it because we realized that in 10 years it would fail, but that it had been successful up until that point, and we're going to stop now. And it's sort of the exact same thing. It's the same mindset with the business. This has been so successful. Not many people can say that they ran a fucking business for 5 fucking years. That's a pretty bold claim. That's a pretty rare claim. And a very successful one at that. So yeah, it's not a failed business. It is a very successful one that I am done with. And so once I reframed that mindset, I felt a lot of freedom. So yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. What else? We have why. We have when. Um, yeah, the accounts will stay open so you can contact me. Going back to the story about the dance competition for a minute, I'll just add the main thing I learned is I want to do what lights me up and what brings me joy. And I don't want to put pressure on it because it sucks the joy out of it. So, with that being said, I realized that the parts of my business that I enjoy is the teaching. And that's why I'm sure that at some point you're going to hear more from me because I love talking and teaching. And so maybe that will translate into a podcast or a TED Talk or a book. Who knows? So, yeah, why I'm closing the business, when I'm closing the business, what I'm going to do instead. Am I happy? I feel like that's all been answered. And I guess the last question that I anticipate is, what about us, right? What about you? So I will tell you, if you have been a client of mine ever, or if you are a current client of mine or in the energy program with me, I want you to reach out to me. Text me. You have my work. If you have a business card, you have my work phone number. That number will stay active. I'm going to move it over to like a Google Voice or something. So you guys can always reach out. I want you to text me. I want you to DM me because I want to talk with each of you one-on-one because each of you have different like treatment plans with me, if you will. And my approach to the situation with each of you is going to be different. But the one thing that I simply cannot emphasize enough is that I'm not cutting off anyone. I would never do that, especially because as someone who was so reliant on the work I was doing with therapists, and different kind of, healing professionals, it would have been detrimental to me, to lose that relationship. And there were actually therapists that I lost completely because they moved or whatever, and it was detrimental. So, and again, like I said, I love doing that work. That work I love. I just don't want to run a fucking business. Anyways, so my clients, my lovelies, my beautiful people, you're not cut off. I'm still here. Message me. We'll talk about it. The energy program itself is closing. Yes, there will not be a monthly subscription anymore. But again, message me. We're going to talk about it. And then for my crystal customers, let me know what you want. I have a lot of crystals and I want you to have them. They're not free. They're heavily discounted though. So let me know what it is that you want and we'll get that to you as quickly as we can because I do want to clear out the inventory. Yeah, I've actually really enjoyed making this podcast episode. So who knows? Maybe there will be more podcasting in the near future. And then if you're a crystal shop or you're looking to start one, you just need a resale license. Hit me up because I will sell you lots and lots and lots, if not all, of my inventory wholesale. So yeah, last day of operation, January 31st. So hit me up. The main accounts, Centered Soul, Crystals, Centered Soul, those will remain open. On TikTok, it has like 139K followers. On Instagram, it has like 6K. And then my one and only YouTube, I think I have like 300 subscribers or something. Those will all remain open so that you can find the content that you have saved or whatever. You can DM me and I will post on my stories and update you if I ever start something else, if I create a fun TikTok of just me living life and enjoying things and want you to follow along so we can stay connected. If I start another business, if I post podcast episodes, I will utilize the stories. So don't unfollow because unless you're like, fuck this, there's no crystals, I'm out, then that's fine. You can unfollow. But if you want to stay connected to me, don't unfollow because I will use that to update you on stuff in the future. We're just not running a business. We're just friends now. Okay, I'm breaking up with you. We're just friends now. It's not you though. It's really me. I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself, and I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, and then my CSC healing account on TikTok and Instagram, those I'm going to delete because I just started them because I thought I was going to transition the business in a different direction instead of closing it, but now I'm just going to close it. So screen record those videos if there's information that you want to keep. Yeah, I really thought that I was going to have like a ton more information for you, but I kind of think that's it. I feel like that's everything that you need to know. And everything, I guess it feels like more because it has been months in the making and hours of like talking things through and being in fear and crying and trying to figure out what I want to do next and filing documents with the state and like, oh my God, it's been so much. It's funny, every time I file a fucking document, I'm like, oh my God, that's the last time I will ever file Q4 taxes. That's the last time I will ever have to talk to the Secretary of State. Oh my God. So we're finalizing things, and I wanted to finalize things with you. Again, I'm breaking up with you professionally, but we're still friends. So you can hit me up. Let me know your thoughts. And I just wanted to share it with you. I'll also tell you this last year and a half since I got my own place and started putting all the pressure on my business to be my support and all that, this has been the absolute best and most difficult and most painful year of my absolute life. It has been like, it has been one of the hardest years. If I didn't have all that PTSD, bro, I would tell you this was the hardest year. But there were years I actually thought I was going to die. I almost did several times. This death was more emotional. But yeah, I've cried more in the last year than I have ever cried in my whole fucking life. Times 4 probably. But the amount of growth and transformation that has come from it, the amount of peace and regulation, the amount of joy and happiness and authenticity, the amount that I've like opened up and like found myself. Oh my God. So worth it. Some of the most painful shit I've ever done, but I can't believe I'm saying it. I would do it again. Wow. Yeah. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be breaking up with you, professionally speaking. And I'm excited for what's next. I'm excited to step into myself more. And not running a business anymore is the exact way to do that. So, yeah, I love you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that maybe you learned something about yourself while listening. Maybe you related to something. And yeah, please reach out to me because we're just breaking up professionally. We're still friends. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your questions. If you have questions about anything, if you have an open box with me, girl, we got to get that shipped out. Okay. My website will disappear because I'm not going to fucking pay for that. So yeah, things will change. Things will change. And I'll probably transition the account to look a little less professional. Um, and I'll probably put in the bio that we are not in business anymore, but we're still answering DMs. Um, so yeah. Yeah, that's the situation. Thank you so much for listening. Please message me if you have questions. Feel free to comment your thoughts if you have thoughts as well. If you have questions, though, you should reach out to me personally because I'm not a social media manager anymore, so I don't have to answer your comments. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, anyways, okay. I will see you around. I hope this episode brought you one step closer to centering your soul. No? I'm sure it did. I'm sure you learned a lot. Okay.